Hey friends, tonight we plunge into the fierce saga of Boudica, the warrior queen of the Iceni, whose unyielding spirit and fiery wrath rattled the Roman Empire to its core. Her rebellion was raw, relentless, and etched forever in the annals of ancient Britain. From her ascent to queenship to commanding thousands in battle, Boudica's life was a whirlwind of iron and flame. Before we dive in, please give this tale a like if it sparks your interest, and drop a comment to share where you're reading from. It's thrilling to know who's joining us from around the world. Now, dim the lights, perhaps light a candle for that ancient glow, and let's step into Boudica's world together. You are not born in a palace. No gilded cradles or polished floors grace your early years. Your home is a roundhouse, its thatched roof sheltering a floor of hard-packed earth, smoke drifting through a ceiling hole as if chasing a dream. Outside, the wind hums over the moors. Inside, your mother sings a tune older than the hills. You are Iceni, born on the wild eastern fringes of Britannia land the Romans will brand a frontier. But to you, it's simply home. No maps guide you, only instincts. Rivers whisper, oaks stand tall, and the land gives when you honor it, takes when you don't dot. As a child, you're no stranger to the elements. Wind-whipped, mud-streaked, warmed by the sun. You ride horses before you walk with ease, wield a spear before touching a needle. Your embroidery looks like a battlefield casualty, and that's fine. Your parents urge you to be sharp, fiercer than any son. For daughters must earn their place, while sons inherit through folly. Elders weave stories, not from parchment, but from memory tales of antlered gods, iron-willed queens, and rivers that drown the weak. You listen, eyes wide, mouth full of honeyed oats, yearning to live a story, not just hear one. Your tribe clings to the land and to rumors. Whispers tell of red-cloaked men with steel sandals landing in the south, carving roads, unasked by the earth, felling sacred groves for coin and conquest. But they're far off, for now. Your thoughts linger on horses, on the heavy bronze torque around your neck, a legacy of the women before you. Your name, Boudica, means Vitria, prophecy more than a name. One day, the Romans will feel its weight. By 10, you've learned to Iceni truths. The Romans never rest, and a blade unswung may cut you down. You grow among warriors, not the polished ranks of Rome, but wild-haired, loud-voiced fighters who scorn restraint. Armor is a choice, scars are a badge. Your mentors are survivors, not scholars. Dawn brings lessons not of numbers, but of wooden swords and bruised shins. You block before you breathe right. Meals come with training dagger drills, spear tosses, or dodging goats with personal vendettas. A man more horse than human, reeking of hay from his straw bed, teaches you to ride. Your first mount, a shaggy one-eyed pony with a storm's temper, becomes your instant kin. Yet life isn't all combat and livestock. By the fire, elders debate tribal matters with life or death. Fervor sometimes they are. You learn when to speak, when to listen, and how to roll your eyes unseen. Druids, draped in robes and riddles, draw you into rituals among standing stones and sacred oaks, chanting cryptic verse that might name you. One wild-eyed elder claims you're God-chosen. For what, you're unsure, but it feels like a storm brewing. You grow into your name Boudica, victory and, soon your queen, not by birth alone, but by alliance. You wed Prasutagus, the Iceni king, a shrewd man who smiles at Rome through gritted teeth. Rome conquers, not always with blades, but with bargains. After an earlier uprising, the Iceni became Rome's friends, independent in name but bowing to taxes, architecture, and officials who butcher your tongue's names. Your new home is a grander roundhouse, adorned with Roman pottery and visits from armored men smelling of olive oil and hubris. You wear fine wool and foreign jewels, but the feel of iron and bone never leaves you. You host feasts, pour wine, endure Roman chatter. One governor offers a bronze mirror. You nearly gift him your axe. Diplomacy, you learn, is war by other means, and you master its dance. Prasutagus treads a fine line, trading with Rome, keeping peace, never trusting their handshakes. Together, you rule a tribe unsubmitted, yet unrebelled. You bear 2 daughters, sharp and fierce, riding like lightning, biting like thunder. You raise them not for marriage, but for survival. Then illness claims Prasutagus, spreading like ink through water. Knowing Rome's greed for leaderless lands, he writes a will. Naming Rome co-heir with you and your daughters a clever bridge, he thinks. But Rome shares with no woman. You bury him in silence, his talk laid on an altar. You wait, not for grief to pass, but for Rome's arrival, not with tears, but with chains. They come quickly, smug administrators in impractical cloaks, not to mourn but to seize. They bring scrolls, debts, and arrogance, ignoring Prasutagus' will. Rome claims all land, weapons, cattle, your throne. They declare the Iceni roams, no debate, just Latin writ. You cite their laws, they answer with steel. Soldiers storm. Your home, not an army, just enough to shame. They strip you, flog you before your people and daughters. What your daughters endure is beyond cruelty. A wound Rome calls discipline, but a mother's heart calls war. You hold them after, trembling, silent. Something ancient awakens in you, fury with a purpose. Elders counsel patience, fearing Rome's fist. You don't roar not yet. Within, an oath takes root. The Iceni kneel beside you in the dirt, not broken but enraged. This wasn't your shame alone. It was Rome's message to all Britons: kneel or shatter. If they wanted you shattered, they should have struck deeper. You rise, driven by the land, the ancestors, the gods of oak and iron. You rise for your daughters, never to be spoils. Rome calls it justice. You recall the whip's bite, your people's silence, your daughters' knowing eyes. This is no matter of coin or land, its humiliation. Boudica, Iceni queen, lashed like a criminal before her tribe. They spared your life, thinking it mercy or warning. They didn't know an Iceni's heart. Your back's scars ache less than your daughter's pain. As blood dries, you plot, not scream. In councils, you listen, gathering whispers from tribes as wounded as you Trinobantus. Katubiani, Durotrihit. Rome sees you fractured, but a splintered rock can crush when aimed. You speak of fire, storms, a mother bear bereft. You don't call for war. You offer vengeance, inevitable as dawn. Women hear you first, then elders, then warriors. Hidden forges spark, druids chant under stars, gods listen. Rome's spies wake too late. You braid your daughter's hair with iron, paint your face for battle, not ritual. In the river, you see not a queen but a reaper. Rome thought it tamed you. It forged your cause. Your wound drives you forward. Speeches are unnecessary as scars, and your daughters' faces shout louder. But war craves momentum beyond pain. You ride from village to council fire. Your presence, a clarion. Tall, fierce, cloaked in wolf fur, red hair wild. Some say your eyes burn like coals. You let the myth grow, fear outruns truth. You speak not of lofty freedom, but of raw pain. Taxes, whips, defiled groves. Tribes unite Trinovantes first, then others, seeing not a queen, but vengeance incarnate. You sharpen blades in memories, paint your face with blue woad, not for show, but for rebirth. You're not the beaten woman, you're the storm she birthed. Your army swells thousands of peasants with sickles, warriors with blades, druids with 2 long stairs. Even the old and lame bring food, horses, tails. You ride a chariot, iron, wheels slicing earth. Your daughters beside you, not ornaments, but omens. A family of rebellion. Rome hears whispers, laughs at a queen's army, then stops when scouts report your numbers. They thought Britons bicker, tribes feud, women weep. You're here to burn their expectations. They come, dozens, hundreds, thousands, horseback, on foot, in carts and chariots. Some wear wool cloaks, others bear skins swirled with blue woad. Eyes alight with faith or fury. Farmers grip untested blades. Warriors forget peace. A boy no older than your daughters clutches a slingshot made from his father's belt. You don't send him away, you nod. This is no mere rebellion, it's a reckoning. Rome calls you terror, malibras woman's terror. You hope it haunts their dreams. Your camp becomes a moving city. Traders sell bread, arrows, talismans shaped like your chariot. Bards sing your name before the first battle. It's prayer or threat, depending on the listener. You keep order, appointing scouts, messengers, clan leaders. You don't want chaos, you want Rome blindsided. Nightly fires blaze. Druids chant in tongues older than empires. You bless blades with bloodpig, or perhaps not. You don't ask. Rome's reports later claim your host exceeds 100,000. You don't count, you feel their heat, their clamor, their dreams pressing your chariot forward. Your daughters sleep under a bear pelt near you, like children but marching as queens. You survey your army or people, your fury, your fire, and no, Rome was right to fear this. You're no Caesar, no golden-crowned conqueror, but you lead for justice, not gold, for vengeance, not wealth. Your spears grip titans. A Roman city looms, and behind you a sea of spears remembers. You strike Camulodunum first. Rome's smug colony on Iceni land, once a tribal stronghold, now a veteran's haven bloated with marble and arrogance. A temple to Claudius, a dead emperor, stands as Rome's boast. Your army arrives like a storm, dust cloud heralding your coming. You hide nothing, subtlety is for traitors. Roman officials scramble, but no legions guard this place, only retired soldiers with rusty blades. They prepare speeches, spear in hand, leaned against a thorn tree, watching his cattle amble like they had nowhere better to be. He was 19, with a grin that could charm a hyena, so he thought. His dreams were bigger than this herd, bigger than the village nestled between the hills, where smoke curled from round huts and laughter echoed from the kraal. He wanted to be a warrior, a name sung by bards, not a cattle herder dodging dung piles. Zelani. A sharp voice cut through his daydream. Noxolo, his cousin, strode toward him, her beaded skirts swaying, her eyes narrowed like she'd caught him stealing honey. Are you guarding the cattle or flirting with the clouds again? Zolani flashed his grin. The clouds listen better than you do, Noxolo. Besides, these cows love me. Look at that one, she's practically bowing. Noxolo snorted, pointing. At a cow chewing a shrub. That's not love. That's hunger. You're supposed to keep them off the bitter plants. Genius. He waved her off, twirling his spear. Details. A warrior doesn't fuss over plants. A warrior seeks glory. Glory, Noxolo crossed her arms. The only glory you'll find is Makulu's stick when she hears you lost another cow, Zolani. Winced Makulu, the clan's seer, had a stick as gnarled as her temper and a knack for knowing when Zolani slacked. But before he could retort, a drumbeat echoed from the village, low and urgent. Noxolo's smirk faded. That's the council drum, she said. Something's happening. They hurried back, the cattle forgotten. The village buzzed elders gathered by the central fire. Children peeked from doorways, and warriors sharpened spears with a purpose. Zolani envied. At the heart of it stood Makulu, her white hair glowing in the firelight, her eyes like stars trapped in amber. She raised a hand, and silence fell. Zolani, son of the Ikaba clan, she called, her voice like wind over rocks. The ancestors have spoken. A star fell last night, burning the sky, landing in the mountains. It is no ordinary stone, it holds the power to unite our people, to shield us from shadows gathering beyond the sea. Zolani's heart leaped. A quest, a chance for glory. He stepped forward, chest puffed. I'll find it, Makulu. I'll bring this starstone to our people. Makulu's eyes twinkled, but her lips twitched with something like amusement. Bold words, boy, but the path is not for the reckless. The mountains are wild, and the stone is guarded by spirits older than these hills. Noxolo stepped beside him, uninvited. I'm going to, she declared. Someone needs to keep him from tripping into a gorge. Zolani glared. I don't. Need babysitting, cousin? You need a miracle, she shot back, earning a chuckle from the elders. Makulu nodded. Noxolo's stars guide her. She sees what you do not. Go together or go not at all. Zolani groaned inwardly but knew better than to argue with Makulu. The crowd murmured, some with pride, others with doubt. A starstone shadows from the... See, Zolani didn't care about the details. This was his chance, his story. He gripped his spear, imagining songs sung in his name as the fire crackled. Noxolo whispered, if you get us killed, I'll haunt you forever. Zolani grinned. Then I'll make sure we're legends first. The next dawn, they set out. Zolani's spear gleaming, Noxolo's pouch heavy with herbs and charms. The valley stretched before them, alive with birdsong and the rustle of unseen eyes. Somewhere in the mountains, a stone burned with the light of the stars, and Zolani felt it calling not just to him, but to the heart of the land itself. Asterisk, the morning air was cool and sweet, heavy with dew and possibility. Zolani walked ahead, his spear tapping the earth with each step, while Noxolo followed just behind, her eyes flicking from bush to tree, her fingers brushing the charms that hung from her belt. They'd left the safety of the valley hours ago, climbing steadily into the hills. The land changed, hair trees taller, shadows deeper. Even the birds were quieter, as if watching rather than singing. Tell me again, Zolani said, pausing to look back, what exactly your little pouch of grass and bones is going to do when we meet spirits. Noxolo rolled her eyes. Their charms, idiot. Protection, guidance, strength. The ancestors listen. Through them, right. And will they tell us how to find the starstone? Only if you shut up long enough to hear them. He snorted, but said nothing more. Their path led through narrow gorges, past rock faces painted with ochre symbols older than memory. Zolani touched one spiral within a spiral and felt a hum beneath his skin, like something asleep turning in its slumber. He drew his hand back quickly. "Don't touch those," Noxolo snapped. "That's spirit writing. It's not meant for you." "Well, it didn't bite," he muttered. "Not yet." The sun climbed higher. By midday, they came to a wide clearing where a stream danced over polished stones. Zolani dropped to his knees, scooping water into his mouth with cupped hands. It was cold and tasted of mountain wind. Noxolo knelt nearby, filling a gourd. She hummed a low tune, one their grandmother used to sing while pounding maize. Zolani watched her. "You ever think maybe you were meant to do something bigger than mixing herbs and scolding me?" She didn't look up. "You ever think maybe that is something big? Healing, protecting, seeing what others miss?" He shrugged. "Still think I'd rather be remembered for saving the world with a spear." She stood, brushing her hands. "Ego makes a poor shield, cousin." Before he could answer, the wind shifted. It carried something strange, like burnt wood and honey. Noxolo's head snapped. "Up. Something's watching us." Zolani grabbed his spear and turned in a slow circle. Nothing. The trees swayed in the breeze, whispering, but no birds sang, no insects buzzed. And then dash footsteps, heavy ones. Crackling twigs. Zolani raised his spear just as a shape stepped from the trees. It wasn't a man. Not quite. It was taller, limbs too long, draped in feathers and fur. Its face was masked carved wood, painted black with slits for eyes. Around its neck hung bones and silver discs that clinked softly as it moved. Noxolo inhaled sharply. "A walker," Zolani whispered. "What's a walker?" "A guardian spirit. It walks between the world's flesh and shadow, both." The walker tilted its head, and though it said nothing, they felt its voice inside them like water poured into the mind. "You seek the stone that fell." Zolani took a step forward. "Yes, I am Zolani of the Ikaba. I come to take the Starstone. For my people." The spirit said nothing for a long moment. "Then many seek power. Few seek truth. Do you know what you truly carry?" Zolani blinked. "Carry? I have nothing, just my spear and my will." The walker looked at Noxolo. "She carries the path. You carry the choice. The stone listens to both." Before they could question further, the spirit raised an arm and pointed toward the mountain's spine. "Go east, to the place where trees do not grow. When you find the silence, listen. The stone calls from within." And then, like mist, the walker was gone. Zolani stared at the space where it had been. "Did that really?" "Yes," Noxolo whispered, already stepping eastward. "And we don't have much time." They walked until dusk, following the ridge of the mountain. Higher and higher until trees grew sparse and the wind keened like a voice in mourning. At sunset, they found the place, a barren field of black stone, flat and silent, ringed by standing stones shaped like sentinels. No grass grew here. No birds flew above. In the center was a crater, small but deep, its edges scorched. They approached slowly. Zolani peered inside. At the bottom lay a shard of something not of this world, not stone, not metal. It pulsed faintly, like a heartbeat. He reached toward it. Noxolo grabbed his wrist. "Wait." The moment froze. The wind stopped. Even the sky seemed to hold its breath. "Don't take something like that without offering something in return," she said. "Zolani," I hesitated. Then, slowly, he unstrapped the carved bead necklace his father had given him, the only thing he still had from the man. He dropped it into the crater. The moment he did, the shard glowed bright, the ground trembled, and in Zelani's chest, something opened like a gate. Visions flooded his mind, warriors standing on cliff edges, flames devouring coastlines, ships with black sails approaching, and above it all, the starstone glowing in his hands. Noxolo's voice broke the spell. Zolani. He blinked. The shard had risen from the crater, hovering before them. Light spilled from it, warm, ancient. Zolan. I reached out. This time, the stone came to him. It settled against his palm. He gasped. The air smelled like thunder, and then a whisper, not his own. This is only the beginning. The sun sank over the valley, casting a golden glow across the grasslands, where acacias stood like sentinels against a sky streaked with crimson. Luthando, 20 and restless, leaned on his spear, watching his clan's cattle graze with the enthusiasm of a rock. His dark eyes sparkled with dreams far bigger than this dusty crawl dreams of battles. Songs a name that would echo beyond the hills. His hair, tightly braided, caught the breeze, and his beaded wristbands clinked as he shifted, imagining himself a hero, not a cowherd. Luthando. A voice snapped, sharp as a thorn. Sianda, his younger sister, marched toward him, her woven skirt swishing, her arms crossed, and her glare fierce enough to scare a hyena. Are you guarding the cattle or posing for the birds? Luthando grinned, undeterred. The birds appreciate my charm. Look at that cow, she's practically saluting me. Sianda rolled her eyes, pointing at a cow munching a spiky bush. That's not respect, you fool. That's poison weed. You're supposed to stop them, not cheer them on. He twirled his spear, nearly dropping it. Details, sister. A warrior doesn't sweat the small stuff. I'm destined for greatness, battles, glory, maybe a song or two. Sianda snorted. The only song you'll get is Nobomi's scolding. When she hears you lost another cow. Again, Luthando winced. Nobomi, the clan's seer, had a voice like gravel and a stick that found its mark with uncanny precision. But before he could muster a retort, a deep drumbeat rolled from the village, urgent and heavy, like a heartbeat quickening. Sianda's smirk vanished. That's the council drum, she said, her voice low. Something's wrong. They sprinted back, abandoning the cattle. The village hummed with tension, elders clustered by the central fire, their faces carved with worry. Children peeked from hut doorways, whispering. Warriors sharpened spears with a rhythm that matched the drum. At the center stood Nobomi, her white hair glowing like moonlight, her eyes sharp as a hawk's. Her robes, adorned with shells and feathers, rustled as she raised a gnarled hand. Silence fell, thick as fog. Luthando, son of the Mathunzi clan, Nobomi called, her voice cutting through the dusk. The ancestors have spoken. Last night, a star fell, tearing the sky like a spear. It rests in the mountains, a gift of iron and fire sent to unite our people against shadows from the sea. Luthando's heart raced. A quest, a chance to be more than a cowherd. He stepped forward, chest out, spear gleaming. I'll find it, Nobomi. I'll bring this star spear to our clan. The crowd murmured, some with pride, others with doubt. Nobomi's lips twitched, her eyes glinting with mischief. Bold words, boy, but the mountains are no cattle path. The star spear is guarded by spirits older than these hills, and your heart must match your boast. Sianda pushed forward, uninvited. I'm going to, she declared, her chin high. Someone needs to keep him from falling off a cliff. Luthando glared. I don't need a nanny. You need a miracle, she shot back, drawing chuckles from the elders. Nobomi cackled, her laughter like dry leaves. Sianda sees the stars, whispers Luthando. You'll need her sight where you're blind. Go together, or stay here and herd cows forever. Luthando groaned, but arguing with Nobomi was like arguing with a storm. The crowd buzzed, some cheered, others whispered bets on how quickly he'd fail. A star spear, shadows from the sea. Luthando didn't care about the riddles. This was his moment, his story. He gripped his spear, imagining bards singing his name across the valleys. As the fire crackled, Sianda leaned close, whispering, if you get us killed, I'll haunt you worse than Nobomi's stick. Luthando grinned, then I'll make sure. We're legends first. The next dawn, they set out, Luthando's spear polished to a shine, Sianda's pouch stuffed with herbs, charms, and a small bone rattle she swore spoke to the ancestors. The valley stretched before them, alive with the hum of insects and the distant roar of a river. The air smelled of grass and earth, and the mountains loomed, their peaks sharp against a sky still dusted with stars. Luthando strode ahead, his steps bold, though he tripped over a root within the first hour. Sahanda didn't bother hiding her laugh. Hero of the Mathunzi clan, defeated by a tree, she said, dodging his playful swipe. Laugh all you want, he said, dusting himself off. When I hold the star spear, you'll be begging for a verse in my song, your song. Sianda raised an eyebrow. It'll be called Luthando Falls Again. Their banter carried them through the savannah, where zebras grazed and hornbills called from acacias. By midday, the sun burned hot, and Luthando's confidence waned as his water gourd lightened. Sianda, unbothered, hummed a song, pausing to study a pattern of stones. An omen, she muttered, squinting. The ancestors say, danger's near, danger. Luthando scoffed, though his grip tightened on his spear. The only danger is your humming, driving me mad. Before Sianda could retort, a rustle broke the silence. A figure darted from the bushes, a man, small and wiry, with skin painted. In ochre and eyes sharp as a hawk's, he held a bow, arrow nocked, aimed at Luthando. You scared my kudu, he snapped, his voice light but edged. 2 days tracking, gone because of your stomping. Luthando raised his hands, spear dangling. Easy, friend. I'm Luthando, on a quest for the star spear. No harm meant. The man lowered his bow, grinning suddenly. A quest sounds like trouble. I'm Shaka, of the San, and you're loud as a buffalo. Sianda smirked, told you. Shaka laughed, slinging his bow over his shoulder. Star spear. I saw the sky burn last night. The mountains are no joke, leopards, spirits, worse. But I'm curious. Mind if I tag along? I could use a story to tell my kin. Luthando hesitated, but Sahanda nodded. He tracks better than you walk, she said. We need him. Fine, Luthando said, feigning reluctance. But if you steal my glory, Shaka, I'll write you as the villain. Shaka winked. Villains get the best songs. The trio trekked onward, Shaka leading with a spring in his step, pointing out tracks of jackals here and antelopes there. His stories kept them laughing, tales of star beings who danced on mountains, or a time he tricked a hyena into chasing its own tail. Luthando tried to match him with boasts, but Sianda's eye rolls kept him in check. By dusk, they camped by a river, its waters glinting like liquid stars. Shaka built a fire, and Sianda studied the sky, her face solemn. "The stars are restless," she said. "Something's coming, not just the spear, but trouble." Luthando poked the fire. "Trouble's my specialty." "What's the omens say?" Sianda shook her head. "It's not clear, like a shadow on water. But we're not alone." Shaka nodded, his grin gone. "The land feels heavy, like eyes watching." Before Luthando could joke, a scream pierced the night, not human, but close. A leopard, its eyes glowing in the dark, stalked the camps. Edge Luthando leaped up, spear ready, heart pounding. Sianda grabbed her rattle, chanting softly, while Shaka knocked an arrow. "Stay calm," Shaka whispered. "She's testing us." The leopard prowled closer, its growl low. Luthando's bravado faltered, but he stepped forward. "Back off, cat. I'm Luthando, future legend." The leopard lunged. Luthando swung his spear, missing wildly, and tripped. Into the fire, scattering embers. Sianda's chant rose, sharp and commanding, and Shaka's arrow flew, grazing the beast's flank. It snarled and fled into the dark. Luthando scrambled up, singed but unharmed. Sianda glared. "Future legend, huh? More like future kindling." Shaka laughed so hard he dropped his bow. "Oh, I'm keeping you too. This quest's already worth it." As the fire rebuilt, Luthando's cheeks burned, but he grinned. The star spear was out there, and so was his story, leopard or no leopard. Asterisk, the next morning. The jungle mist clung to the trees like breath on glass. The trio moved quietly through a forest where even the birds didn't sing. Branches twisted above them like frozen dancers, and the ground was soft with old leaves. It felt ... watched. Shaka knelt beside a line of stones half buried in the soil. "We're close," he whispered. "This is Spirit Gorge." "Spirit Gorge?" Luthando frowned. "That sounds made up." "It's real," Sianda said, "and very old. The ancestors say it was once a battlefield between gods." "Oh," Luthando muttered, "lovely. Just the place for a casual walk." They followed the stones to a narrow path that snaked between towering cliffs. As they stepped inside, the air turned cold. Not wind cold, bone-deep cold, like something ancient had sighed and never stopped. Their footsteps echoed wearily, like the rocks were remembering them. Sianda paused, brushing her fingers along the wall. "Look," the stones bore faint carvings, faces with wide eyes and open mouths. All of them looked scared, cheerful. Shaka muttered, a whisper slithered through the gorge. None of them spoke, but they all felt it. Turned back, Sianda stiffened. "It's the Guardians. They're testing us." Luthando squared his shoulders, then let them test. "We came for the Star Spear." The whispers grew louder, now sounding like 100 voices layered on top of each other. "You are not worthy... Shaka lit a charm he pulled from his satchel, dried herbs wrapped in snakeskin. The smell was strong, sharp enough to make Luthando gag. But the voices dimmed. "We have to walk the rest of the gorge in silence," Sianda said softly. "If we speak, the spirits will trap our voices... and then our minds." Luthando raised an eyebrow. "You couldn't have mentioned that earlier." She shushed him too late. Suddenly, the shadows stretched. The gorge twisted. Luthando turned down. Sianda was gone, so was Shaka. He was alone, or not. From the shadows emerged himself, but older, scarred, worn, sad. The other Luthando. Zeus, king of Olympus and god of the sky, is a thunderstorm with a crown and zero chill. Youngest son of Cronus and Rhea, He escaped his dad's kiddie-eating spree when Rhea swapped him for a rock wrapped in a blanket. Cronus gobbled it like a samosa, no questions asked. Grown-up Zeus went full Bahubali, sliced open Dad's stomach, and freed his siblings: Poseidon, Hades, Hera, Hestia, and Demeter. Boom, the dysfunctional Condon was born. After defeating the Titans, Zeus claimed the throne, ruling with lightning bolts and a "I'm the boss" vibe. His job: cosmic order, justice, and oaths. His reality: turning into swans, bowls, or golden mist to flirt with anything that moves. By swans, Colosseum high. His wife, Hera, was not amused, and his affairs spawned demigod kids: Hercules. Perseus with daddy issues galore. When not breaking hearts, Zeus was the cosmic referee, smiting arrogant mortals. Adventure alert: when a rogue titan stole his master lightning bolt, Zeus led a sky-charging chase, zapping through clouds and wrestling the titan on a storm-ravaged peak. He retrieved his bolt, but not before half a forest got fried. Classic Zeus protector, predator, and PR disaster. Hera, queen of spite, Hera, goddess of marriage and family, is ironic because her own marriage was a big boss-level mess. Married to her brother Zeus, mythology's weird. She was the queen of sacred unions, but stuck in a serial of infidelity and revenge. Zeus's animal-themed flirting drove her nuts, so she targeted his lovers and kids, turning one into a cow, cursing another to echo, and sending snakes to baby Hercules' crib, Ara Chilcaro. Still, she protected childbirth and had cities like Argos worshipping her. Adventure alert: when a cursed peacock, her sacred bird, started turning mortals to stone, Hera embarked on a solo quest across Greece, dodging traps and outsmarting a sorceress to break the curse. Her golden chariot blazed through the skies, proving she's a queen fueled by Nazar and divine rage. Poseidon, the salty sea boss. Poseidon, god of seas, earthquakes, storms, and horses. Yakia, combo high. He got the oceans while Zeus took the sky, and Hades the underworld. His trident, divine Tashan stick, could sink cities or create islands. Sailors prayed for safe trips, fishermen offered Barani maybe, and coastal towns begged him not to flood their vibe. Moody as a monsoon, he'd gift islands one day, drown crops the next over a missed sacrifice. Lost a City naming contest to Athena olives, beat his salty spring, and threw an earthquake-sized tantrum. Adventure alert: when a sea monster stole his trident, Poseidon dove into the ocean's depths, battling krokens and navigating coral mazes. He wrestled the beast in a whirlpool showdown, reclaiming his weapon and saving coastal cities from tidal doom. Salty but epic. Hades, the goth manager, Hades, the underworld's grumpy babu, got stuck managing dead souls for eternity. Not evil, just Thakla from whiny spirits. His kingdom also Hades had Elysium for heroes, Asphodel for average folks, and Tartarus for baddies. No drama, just paperwork. His scandal, kidnapping Persephone. Not cool, but they made it work, splitting time to cause seasons. With his three-headed dog Cerberus, Hades kept souls in line. Adventure alert: when a rogue soul tried to break out of Tartarus, Hades rode Cerberus through the underworld's labyrinth, dodging ghostly traps and sealing a breach to the mortal world. No temples for him, Greeks were too scared to say his. Nay, but he's the uncle you respect from a safe distance. Athena, the brainy badass. Athena, goddess of wisdom, strategy, and weaving, is Olympus's topper. Born when Zeus's skull was cracked open, she popped out armored and unimpressed. War with logic, not chaos. She's a KBC contestant, not a brawler. Turned Arachne into a spider for outweaving her petty, but iconic. No romance, just mentoring. Heroes like Odysseus and Perseus. Adventure alert. When a cursed labyrinth trapped Greece's greatest warriors. Athena navigated its deadly puzzles, outsmarting minotaurs and magical traps to free them. Her owl guided her through the dark, proving she's always 10 steps ahead. Ares, the angry Jimbrories, god of war and bloodshed, is muscle with no brains. If Athena's strategy, he's a Gunda with a sledgehammer. He's battle chaos blood screams, no chill. Even Zeus called him annoying. Ouch. His sons, Phobos and Deimos, panic and terror, were his vibe. His affair with Aphrodite got him. Trapped in a net by her husband Hephaestus, for all to laugh at. Sharmandagi Ki had adventure alert when a warlord summoned a demonic army. Ares charged in, swinging his spear through hordes in a blood-soaked brawl. He won, but left a trail of chaos. In Rome, he's Mars Glacier. In Greece, a loud Jimbro with a fire-breathing. Chariot, Aphrodite. The drama Queen Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty, is trouble in a toga. Born from sea foam after Cronus's Ahem brutal act, or maybe Zeus's daughter, she's gorgeous either way. Her magic belt made her irresistible cheating, basically. Married to Hephaestus but vibing with Ares, she got caught in that net. Still, she blessed lovers and weddings, but also sparked the Trojan War over a golden apple. Ek apelki, lie itna drama. Adventure alert. When a cursed love potion drove Greece wild, Aphrodite sailed to a hidden island, dodging enchanted suitors, and battling a rogue nymph to destroy it. Her charm saved the day, but not without a few broken hearts. Hephaestus, the underdog artisan. Hephaestus, god of fire and craftsmanship, is the only Olympian with a 9-to-5. Tossed off Olympus by Hera or Zeus for being imperfect, he landed with a limp and condon issues. He fought back, trapping Hera in a magical throne till the gods begged him to return. Boss move. He forged Zeus's lightning, Poseidon's trident, and every shiny thing. Married to Aphrodite, he got cheated on but got even with that net. Adventure alert. When a titan stole his forge's sacred flame. Hephaestus trekked through volcanic caves, dodging lava traps and crafting a mech shield to defeat the thief. The unsung Desi uncle who fixes scooters with a wrench and a chai break. Hermes. The divine Kanmon Hermes, god of travelers, commerce, thieves, and fast-talking Chalu vibes, as Olympus's Jugado Chemp. On day 1, he stole Apollo's cattle, made a lyre from a tortoise, and slipped back into his crib. Kaya, speed high. Messenger of the gods, he smuggled souls, guided heroes, and ran divine express delivery. God of trade and thievery, he's your bazaar guy, not your wallet's friend. Adventure alert. When a trickster spirit stole Zeus's sacred scrolls, Hermes zipped through mortal markets and underworld tunnels, outwitting traps with his winged sandals to retrieve them. All with a shady grin. Apollo, the golden boy Apollo, god of the sun, music, prophecy, and archery, is Olympus's all-rounder. He drives the sun chariot, no crashes, thankfully, and strums the lyre like a rock star. His oracle at Delphi gave cryptic Pandaji vibes. Skinned a satyr for challenging his music savage, his love life. Nymphs turning into trees to escape him. Adventure alert. When a cursed plague darkened Greece, Apollo rode his sun chariot too. A haunted mountain, battling shadow beasts and singing a divine hymn to restore light. Too perfect, always in Jaja. Artemis, the fierce huntress Artemis, Apollo's twin, is goddess of the hunt, wilderness, and chastity. She's the Desi girl roaming forests with her bow, not dealing with Olympian drama. Protector of wildlife and young girls, she's fiercely independent. Peep at her bathing. Ask Actaeon, turned into a deer and hunted by his dogs. Karma, by adventure alert. When a monstrous boar ravaged Greece, Artemis led her huntresses through cursed woods, tracking it with deadly precision. One arrow, one kill her glare, scarier than the beast. Demeter, the mum of seasons. Demeter, goddess of agriculture, is the ma keeping Greece fed. When Hades kidnapped her daughter Persephone, she went full filmy mum, freezing the world till Zeus brokered a deal. Persephone's time split causes seasons, mess with her family, and your fields are a collie plot. Adventure alert, when a blight cursed Greece's crops. Demeter trekked through enchanted fields, battling plant demons and reviving the harvest with her earth magic. Pure Desimam energy, the great Olympian quest. One day, a rogue titan named Typhon, pissed about his ancient defeat, unleashed chaos by stealing artifacts from each god. Zeus's bolt, Poseidon's trident, Hades' helm, Hera's crown, Athena's shield, Ares' spear, Aphrodite's belt, Hephaestus' flame, Hermes' scrolls, Apollo's lyre, Artemis' bow, and Demeter's sickle. Olympus was a Mesgard's bickering, mortals panicking, and Typhon hiding in a cursed volcano. Zeus called a rare panchayat. Enough backwards, we're getting our stuff back. The gods teamed up for an epic adventure. Hermes scouted with his winged sandals, dodging lava traps. Athena mapped the volcano's maze with her owl. Poseidon flooded dead-end paths to clear the way. Ares charged at Typhon's minions, swinging wildly. Apollo's sunlight exposed hidden traps, while Artemis sniped guardians with deadly aim. Hephaestus crafted a giant net to trap Typhon's beasts, and Aphrodite charmed sentries to spill secrets. Hades and Cerberus guarded the exit to stop Typhon's escape. Demeter revived the volcano's barren slopes to weaken Typhon's power, and Hera's Nazar kept the team focused. Zeus led the final charge, zapping Typhon with a megabolt, reclaiming their artifacts in a Domikator showdown. The sun was dropping, turning the grass all gold and the trees dark against the sky. Luthando, 20 and full of big ideas, leaned on his spear, watching cows wander like they had no plans. He wasn't made for this. He wanted battles, songs. His name shouted across the hills. His braids swung as he grinned, picturing himself a hero, not a cowherd. His sister, Cyanda's voice hit like a slap. She marched up, beads on her skirt clicking, eyes narrowed. "You watching cows or dreaming of girls again?" He smirked, pointing at a cow. "Look at her, she loves me," practically bowing. Silan laughed, sharp. "She's eating poison weed, you idiot. Stop her before Nobomi skins you." Luthando waved her off, spinning his spear and almost dropping it. "Theft warriors don't fuss over weeds. I'm meant for glory, glory." Cyanda snorted. "You'll get Nobomi's stick across your head." Nobomi, the old seer, was scarier than any lion, with her gnarly stick and eyes that saw your secrets. Luthando opened his mouth to argue, but a loud drumbeat rolled from the village, deep and fast. Cyanda froze. "That's the council drum. Something's up." They ran back, leaving the cows. The village was alive, elders by the fire, kids hiding behind huts, warriors sharpening spears. Nobomi stood in the middle, her white hair glowing like stars, her robes jingling with shells. She raised a hand, and everyone went quiet. "Luth of the Mathunzi," she called, her voice rough like stones. "Last night, a spear of fire fell from the sky. It's in the mountains, a gift from the ancestors to bring our tribes together. You must find it." Luthando's chest puffed up, a quest, his big moment. He stepped forward, spear high. "I'll get it, Nobomi. I'll bring that sky spear back." People whispered, some cheered, some laughed. Nobomi's eyes twinkled, like she knew something he didn't. "Big talk, boy. The mountains aren't kind. Spirits guard that spear." Sianda stepped up, hands on hips. "I'm going. Too, he'll get lost without me." Luthando groaned. "I don't need you tagging along, Sianda. You need someone with brains," she shot back, making the crowd chuckle. Nobomi laughed, loud and crackly. "Sianda sees the stars' secrets. You go together, or you stay here with the cows." Luthando sighed. No arguing with Nobomi. People clapped, some betting he'd fail. A sky spear from the ancestors. Luthando didn't care about the why. This was his chance to be a legend. He gripped his spear, seeing his name in songs dot by the fire. Sianda whispered, "If you get us killed, I'll haunt you forever." He grinned, "Then we'll be famous ghosts." Next morning, they left Luthando's spear, shiny. Bags stuffed with herbs and a rattle, she said, talked to spirits. The plains stretched wide, grass swaying, birds singing. Mountains stood far off, sharp under a sky full of fading stars. Luthando marched ahead, all swagger, until he tripped on a rock. Sianda cackled. "Great warrior, beaten by a pebble." "Keep laughing," he said, brushing dirt off. "When I hold that sky spear, you'll want to be in my song." "Your song," she smirked. "It'll be Luthando trips again." They walked through grass taller than their knees, dodging antelope and ignoring buzzing flies. The sun climbed, hot and heavy. Luthando's water gourd got light fast, but Saranda just hummed, stopping to look at some stones in a funny pattern. "An omen," she said, squinting. "Troubles close, trouble." Luthando laughed, gripping his spear. "Only trouble. Is you slowing us down?" A rustle came from the bushes. A man jumped out small, quick, skin painted red with dirt, holding a bow with an arrow aimed at Luthando. "You scared my antelope," he yelled. 2 days tracking, gone because you stomp like an elephant." Luthando raised his hands, spear dangling. "Whoa, friend. I'm Luthando on a quest for the sky spear. Didn't mean to mess up your hunt." The man lowered his bow, grinning wide. "A quest, that's trouble. I'm Shaka Santraka, you're..." Loud as a buffalo, Sianda smirked. "Told you." Shaka laughed, slinging his bow over his shoulder. "Sky spear, huh? I saw the sky burn last night. Mountains are rough snakes, leopards, spirits. But I'm bored. Can I come? I want a story to tell." Luthando frowned, but Sianda nodded. "He's better at tracking than you are at walking," she said. "We need him." "Fine," Luthando said. "But don't steal my glory, Shaka." Shaka winked. "Glory, I'll take the laughs." They walked on, Shaka leading, pointing out tracks, jackals, birds, even a porcupine. He told stories that had them laughing. A starman who lost his shoes, a hyena who chased his own tail. Luthando tried to top him with big talk, but eye rolls shut him up. By night, they camped by a river, water sparkling like stars. Shaka built a fire, and Sianda stared at the sky, quiet. Stars are jumpy, she said. Something's coming. Not just the spear. Luthando poked the fire. What's that mean? You and your omens. It's not clear, she said, like a shadow moving fast. We're not alone. Shaka nodded. No grin now. Land feels heavy. Eyes out there before Luthando could. Joke. A scream cut, the night not human, but close. A leopard crept close, eyes like moons. Luthando jumped up, spear ready, heart thumping. Sianda grabbed her rattle, singing low. Shaka pulled his bow. Easy, Shaka whispered. She's curious. The leopard growled, stepping closer. Luthando's knees shook, but he yelled, back off, cat. I'm Luthando, future hero. It lunged. Luthando swung his spear, missed, and tripped into the fire, sparks flying. Sianda's song got loud, like a command, and Shaka's arrow zipped, nicking the leopard's side. It snarled and ran off. Luthando got up, clothes smoky. Glad hero. You're a walking campfire. Shaka laughed so hard he dropped his bow. This quest's gold already. Luthando grinned, brushing ash off. The sky spear was out there, and his story was just starting. They woke early, the river misty. Shaka led them toward the mountains, teaching Luthando to spot tracks useless. Since Luthando kept stepping on them, Sianda hummed, her eyes on the sky, muttering about omens. The grass turned to rocky paths, and the air got cooler. Then came trouble. A snake, long and black, coiled on the path. Luthando froze, spear up. I got this, he said, voice shaky. Siymand. A pushed past. Don't be stupid, she tossed. A stick, and the snake slithered off. See, brains over bravery, Shaka clapped. She's the hero here. Luthando grumbled but kept moving. The mountains grew closer, dark and tall. That night, by a small fire, Shaka told a story about a starman who fought a snake with a spear of light. Luthando listened, eyes wide, feeling the sky spear calling. But then, voices low, sneaky. Luthando gripped his spear. Shaka's hand went to his bow. Sianda whispered, Vio. Vio, a warrior from their village, stepped into the firelight. All smiles, but eyes cold. Nice quest, Luthando. That spear's mine, though. Luthando stood tall. It's for the tribes, not you. Vio laughed. We'll see. He vanished into the dark, leaving them uneasy. Sianda shook her head. He's trouble. We move fast tomorrow. Luthando nodded, fire in his chest. The sky spear wasn't just a prize, was his fight now.